welcome. This is for our Facebook group here, and the topic is talking about my basically go-to line when I'm interviewing mover job candidates and how to get them excited about the job opportunity. The one thing, and there's a ton of ways you could do this, but the one line that I generally get a lot of buy-in, okay, that's really what you're looking for is buy-in, from job candidates for mover positions, whether it's a driver or a helper, is generally when I'm about 2/3 of the way through the interview and I've already qualified them. Like, I know, like, okay, this is a good candidate. They speak well. They qualify on all the big things. I will transition and I'll say something along the lines like this. Yeah, and Josh, dude, you're gonna get blown away when you meet the people here at our company. You know, obviously you don't have a shoe in yet, got to interview, you got to meet, let's say I'm talking to Josh. You got to meet Mike. Okay, Mike's our operations manager, great guy. Like, you're going to love having a conversation with him, but even more is you getting to know the guys that work here, because it's different than anywhere else I've ever seen. It's not a place where you come and people are talking behind your back and you got people that they don't care about you. When you work here, these are people that you can crack a beer with, after work at the end of the day, like good guys you can actually hang out with. And so I'll kind of say something along to those lines, and that's my go-to. People want to work places where they feel like there's camaraderie and that there's buy-in. There's some type of culture to immerse into. No one wants to really, today, in my opinion, just work somewhere to work somewhere. They want to work at a place that they like the people. So is that a necessity for someone to like their coworkers? No, it's not. But it is a major advantage. So when you do your when you interview, like, you should sell that aspect. Like, man, dude, you're gonna love hanging out with the guys. Like, there's nothing like being one of the guys on the team. Let me tell you about this one time. We took all the guys out on a hot day to the pool and cooked a bunch of burgers, hot dogs, and stuff. And man, you just wouldn't believe the time we had. We had a bunch of water guns, had a blast, right? Whatever it is that you're sharing, whether it's on the phone interview or the in-person interview, my go-to line is how that guy is going to fit in with all the other guys. I think we do not put enough emphasis on, like, the importance of that fit. So when you're hiring, sell that aspect, like sell that like crazy about, one, the person they're interviewing with, okay? So let's say if this is the phone interview and now I'm booking them to come in and meet the owner. I'm going to edify and promote the owner as much as I can. So I'm Winston and my candidate's name's Josh, and let's say my owner is Mike. I'm telling Josh how great of a guy Mike is. Like, man, Josh, I got to tell you, I've never worked for a better person than Mike. Like, Mike has never strayed me wrong. He's a straight up dude. He'll tell you the truth, right? Sometimes it's not always great to hear, but he'll tell you the truth. And he's one heck of a leader. He's somebody I'd follow every single day. Do you know what I just created in that dynamic? So when Josh, the job candidate, shows up for his in-person interview and meets Mike, he already has this expectation of the type of person Mike is, right? And you can do that dynamic in so many ways. Like, if you've got an office admin person, if it's a lady maybe doing the phone interview, like, she can edify to the manager or she can edify to the owner. If you're in the in-person interview, I'm edifying the group of guys, okay? The team. I'm edifying the guys that go out every single day on the trucks. And so the edification that's happening there is really the advantage over them wanting to work at your company versus working at other companies. Because how many jobs right now are hiring? Just drive down the road. Do you see all the banners outside of every single business? We're hiring. We're hiring. It's everybody. When you think about jobs that are anywhere from $15 to $25 an hour, there are endless amounts of jobs that pay that amount of money. So you're in a giant sea of people looking for talent. There's far more jobs than there are people looking for jobs. It is a candidate market. It's the job seekers market right now. It's not the employer's market. It's all, you kind of relate it to the real estate market, right? So you have to put on your salesperson hat. You have to put your promoter hat on. And my big belief is like when you're going from phone interview to in-person interview, promote the person they're going to meet with. Promote. Edify. When you're at the in-person interview and now we're talking about potentially giving them an offer, like, hey, it's not a shoe-in. We got some other people to interview, but if you end up earning a position with us, let me tell you about the guys here. Let me tell you about let me tell you about Ted. Let me tell you about Thomas. Let me tell you about Sam. Let me tell you this guy's story. Let me tell you that guy's story. We met this guy and he was working, at such and such. And now he's here. He's got, a 2-year-old and a baby on the way, right? Like you start talking about the story and the people of the business and how that candidate, Josh in our example, right, would fit into the family. You as the employer and the interviewer this should be really good exercise for you because you're going to be getting a vibe of whether that person would fit into your team or not. And they might be as qualified as can be, but if they don't fit, they don't glue into the team. That's a big one. That's tough. So my one go-to line is edification at the end of the day. Either edifying the owner or the manager that they're going to be meeting with, or I'm edifying the group of guys because that's who they are going to spend tons of time with. Edification is one of your greatest tools in business, one of your greatest assets. It's a way to put credibility on someone else, shed the light on someone else, and then what you want to teach if you have a larger business that has, some management and office staff, teach how to cross edify. So like if I'm the owner and I have a GM or an ops manager or somebody, office manager, could have several different people. If I'm the owner, I'm going to be edifying those people to my guys all the time, but then I'm going to teach my leadership staff, which is going to be like my ops manager, GM, office manager, sales manager, those people. I'm going to teach them to edify me, not to boost my ego, but to get the cross edification so that way the team, the whole organization respects those people's time, listens better, and appreciates what they're doing. If I edify my ops manager like crazy when in front of my movers, the movers are going to be like, well, dang, that guy's the owner, and he's saying that Brian, the ops manager, knows more than he does, right? It's not a knock on me. It's me edifying and promoting the next person. The power of edification is so real. Like, you get good at it, it will boom your business. But that's my one line, edification. Building up people, and that way when they're getting trained by that ops manager, they listen more. When they're getting some advice from the owner, they listen more. So, hope that helps. We'll see you guys next week on the next video, and let's get after it. See you guys.